Hey guys, how's it going? I hope everyone is doing well whenever you tune in and see this. So this is going to be a reading for Libra and for Scorpio. I pulled all the cards ahead of time for Libra, and we'll do that reading, and then I'll reshuffle on screen, and then we'll switch to Scorpio. All right. So again, I hope everyone is doing well, and I do appreciate you tuning in here. And if it's your first time, welcome, and even if it's not your first time, welcome back. All right. So I did want to say a few things, right? So this is a general reading, which means it can be for not just sun sign Libras, but if you're rising Libra, if you have your moon in Libra, if you have your Venus in the Libra, as an example, or even if it's none of those things and you're not sure exactly where, you do have Libra somewhere in your chart. We all have all 12 zodiac signs throughout each individual of our birth charts. Okay, so that's why everyone is welcome. All right, and hopefully there'll be a message here for you. And if not, that's okay too. Never force it, but always feel free, if you already know your other placements, to check out your other signs as well. Okay, especially because depending on what's going on in your life, you may resonate more with your sun sign, or your rising sign, or even your moon sign. Okay, and for matters of love, it's always important to watch your Venus sign as well. All right. So, with all of that being said, let's go ahead and do a little sound bell here and go ahead and get started for Libra. And I wanted to also say too that since this reading is for August 28th through September 28th, right? We switch signs on the 22nd of every month. So I wanted to go ahead and also say happy early birthday to all the sun sign Libras out there. So if you are watching and you have, your birthday after September 22nd, and my next video won't come out till after the 28th. I just wanted to say ahead of time, happy birthday to all the sun sign Libras ahead of time. All right, so let's do a little sound bell here and then get started for your reading. So, sometimes it's a little loud if you're extra sensitive or you're listening with headphones or something like that. So just be aware, but it won't be for too long. All right. And also too, if you want to, you can take a deep breath, or you can just listen and kind of, ground ourselves and get in that zone for the reading. All right, here we go. All right. So I'm going to put the bell over here. There's just a little more room. All right. And I will have little music really softly on in the background. It's just kind of for my dogs. So if you see me playing with it, it's just because there's a commercial or something and I don't want the sound to interfere. All right, so let's see here. Let's go ahead and talk about the placements of the cards, and then we'll go ahead and call them out and we'll get into it. So we're, roughly talking about a 4.5 to 5 week time period, right? It's from August 28th through September 28th. So each of these first 4 cards that go across this way, or that is that 4.5, 5 week time period, right? It's not exact, okay? And we are going to be using 2 different decks like I usually do. So we'll also talk about what the other deck says in the tarot, and we'll also talk about the top and the bottom of each one of them. And at the very end, I have a little oracle card for you as well. And after the live, I do take a picture and I post it on my Facebook in case you want to look at the cards again, more up close and detail all together. Okay, so I will be, bringing them up to the screen so you can see them, but this kind of just shows them like all together. All right. Okay, so Libra, let's see what you have here. You have the Seven of Sacred Circles in the right side up position, also known as Seven of Pentacles. You have the Prince of Sacred Circles in right side up position, also known as Prince of Pentacles. You have the Prince of Staves, also known as Prince of Wands in the reverse position. And you have the Ace of Cups in the reverse position. And then we'll talk about the other cards as we go along. Okay, I just wanted to call those ones out real quickly. All right, so when we're talking about your reading here, this could be energy from the recent past. It can be a combination of a little bit of the recent past, currently what's going on, and coming up. Okay, so it will be different for everybody, and the recent past is different for everybody. So it could be a couple days ago, weeks, months, years, etc. And I forgot to set my timer. It's just kind of like a general time frame for me to know what time it is. I'm trying to spend at least 20 to 30 minutes on each sign. Sometimes a little bit less, sometimes a little bit more. All right. So when we talk about your first card here, Libra, we're talking about, since today is September 3rd, right? We're going back in time a little bit because the first card usually can be from around, right? It's not exact, August 27th through September 3rd. Then the second card, when we talk about that one, and when we're on each one, I'll remind you the time frame roughly, will be from around September 4th through September 13th. The third card is going to be from around September 14th through September 22nd, and the fourth card is going to be from around September 23rd through September 28th or so. Okay. All right. So with your first card here, Libra, we've got some nice energy with the Seven of Pentacles, or Seven of Sacred Circles, as it's called in this deck, in the upright position, because this is a very busy time frame for you, perhaps at work, in your relationships. It could be both, right? But it's really about people also seeing you in the correct light, and it's you self-evaluating yourself, saying, this is how much I've done, and this is how much I still need to do in these areas, right? Whether, again, it's romantic, at work, with your health, with your friends and family, etc. All right, but let me go ahead and show you the card here. Come a little closer. Ooh. Okay, just kidding. Just kidding. Okay, so hopefully you can see, it looks like almost like a Thanksgiving spread here. Okay, so it's about storing the stuff for the winter, right? Preparing for the foreseeable future. Okay, so again, it's taking stock of like how much food, right? Because it looks like food in the card. How much food do I already have? How much do I still need to grow to survive throughout the winter? Okay, so this is a very abundant energy. Like I said, it's for momentum and progress here. So that's really nice here, Libra, to start off your reading with. Okay. Excuse me. Now, moving forward, you do have, right, these two princes that we're going to talk about. Now, the first one is the Prince of Sacred Circles, or Prince of Pentacles, okay? So again, when we talk about pentacles, we talk about money, right? But we're also talking about abundance, all forms. So not just money and wealth, but whatever it is you want to manifest in your life, all right? And so when we have this prince here, okay, it could be that in that second week that we're about to kind of start, there is some type of medium-sized opportunity that's going to be presented to you, Libra, or it could be a medium-sized communication that you're going to give to someone, or someone's going to give to you, or it's a communication or opportunity from the universe. Why is it medium-sized, right? Because in tarot, it goes page, prince or knight, and then king. So this is the medium size, okay, that I'm talking about. So that will be different for everybody. Like, what does that mean to you, right? So if we're talking about work, as an example, this is the one I usually go to, okay, if you've seen me before, right? But it's basically like, if I'm an entry-level employee and I'm going to move up, then I'm going to go from entry-level to manager. Okay, let's say manager, and then CEO would be the top. So manager would be the medium size opportunity coming up, right? As an example. Okay, if it's in a relationship, apply it to how you are and your partner, how you guys, define your relationship. If it's an opportunity from the universe, or just a communication in general from your spirit guides, guardian angels, the same thing. Apply your own kind of knowledge to like what a medium-sized offer communication can be. Now, in particular with this deck, right, we really see the communication factor with this Native American man. He's holding the peace pipe. There's smoke behind him, right? And so the peace pipe is about finding common ground and being able to sit down and communicate, okay? So that could be really important. Now, since we're talking about the second card, and I said it was brown September 4th through September 13th, and we're talking about communication. Of course, if you don't already know and you haven't watched my astrology notes or someone else's, right? It's everywhere on the internet. But we do have Mercury retrograde coming up on September 9th. So during that second card, second week that we're talking about coming up. So it could be here, Libra, like because you're an air sign, if you're a sun sign Libra, right? Or you just have a lot of Libra in your chart, right? We're talking about communication of the mind, the logical mind, right? So really trying to figure out, again, how you can find common ground with someone or with multiple people in a general environment situation, but also to make sure, because it's Mercury retrograde and Mercury is now going backwards, that there aren't any miscommunications, okay? So that'll be really important, or misunderstandings, all that kind of stuff, okay? But still really good card, still forward momentum and progress here. So I like to see that for you. And there's a commercial, so I'll just turn that down. All right, so moving forward here, Libra, we're coming to your third card here, the third week, which could be from around September 14th through September 22nd or so. All right, and it just is a little bit of an energetic blockage for some, okay, because we have the Prince of Staves, also known as Prince of Wands, is now in the reverse position here, okay? And so this could be that we're talking about somebody's confidence is affected here, right? Not necessarily for everybody. It could also be because normally princes, right, if they're right side up, we just said it would be communication or medium-sized offer, medium-sized communication. But because it's in reverse, perhaps this communication, if there was going to be a second one or a part two, right, perhaps it wasn't well received or understood. And we just talked about Mercury retrograde. So if that's, definitely makes sense with not being understood perhaps here. Or it could be for some their confidence, or it could be a hesitance to want to level up in some area of your life, okay? Or multiple areas of your life. And again, if this isn't about you, Libra, it could be about the person you're dealing with. I forgot to say that in the beginning. Multiple people, general environment situation. But when you have one prince right side up and then another prince in the reverse position and they follow each other, it's almost like, well, do you not want to become a king? Because that would be the natural progression. Do you not want to level up? Do you not want to have a higher opportunity? That could be a question some of you guys have to ask yourselves, or again, ask the other person or the environment here. Now, also, I totally forgot to do this in the Virgo reading the other day, and I'll do it right now in your reading. As far as the major arcanas, let's go ahead and call out the other zodiac signs that we see here. For some people, I like to do that, and then we'll go back to where we were in your reading. All right, so you don't have too many major arcanas here, Libra. You do have the Hermit, right? You've got some Virgo energy here. You have the Devil, which is Capricorn energy, and you have the Temperance, which is Sagittarius energy. So for some, not everybody, you could be dealing with a Virgo, you could be dealing with a Capricorn or a Sagittarius, or it's a reference to a past Virgo season, Capricorn season, Sagittarius season, or upcoming Sagittarius and Capricorn season, since we just finished Virgo, right? So just wanted to throw that out there, okay? But the other thing I wanted to mention here too is that, you do have, let's see, 1, 2, 3. Yes, you have 3 Pentacles cards. So I always like to count what is the majority of your minor arcana in your reading, because that can give us like an additional message to your reading as well. So you got 3 Pentacles, you've got 2 Wands, you've got 1 Cup, and the rest are the majors, okay? So it would definitely be pentacles. So what does that mean? So when we talk about pentacles, like I mentioned earlier, we're talking about money and wealth, right? And whatever you want to manifest. But also, in particular, another way to phrase it could be, am I being valued? Am I valuing myself enough? Is the other person is the other person valuing me? Is the environment oh my God. Is the environment valuing me enough, etc. Okay, so it brings up worth and how much we pay for things, right? So if the famous saying is time is money, right? So if it's not necessarily directly about money, it could be about how you value your time or other people value your time, etc. Okay, so just wanted to throw that out here. And then one more thing about that too is all of your pentacles here in your reading are in the right side up position. One is in the past, we'll talk about later. The other two were in the beginning of your reading here, but it looks like they're all in a pretty good favor. So hopefully, you are being valued enough and properly in the right way, and you are also doing that of others. Okay, because they're all in the kind of favorable excuse me, the favorable position. All right, let's keep going forward here though with the rest of your reading. So we left off with, we were talking about your third card, your third week, that Prince of Staves in the reverse position. Now, one more thing to note about this card, right, is that staves or wands, right, because it's the stave, okay, that's what they call it in this deck, but the same thing as wands, is they can, for some, not everybody, talk about health, okay? So when we talk about wands, we talk about our defenses. Are my defenses too high? Are they too low? But in particular, health is because our immune system is our first line of defense. Okay, so for some people here, there could be, not everybody, something going on with the health. There could be a small energetic blockage that needs to be looked at or, dealt with in some way. Okay. Now, before we go forward in the rest of your reading here, this is actually where Spirit wanted me to talk to you about what's in the top and the bottom of your other deck, along with that third card, okay? So what we have here, anytime we talk about what's on the top and the bottom, is past energy, okay? So recent past, further back than that, way, way back than that, but it's just past energy, okay? So what came out here for you, and I'll hold the cards up with the one we're talking about it, okay? So we have the Devil in the right side up position on the top of your deck, and we have the Four of Wands in the right side up position on the bottom of your deck here, okay? So again, this is more insight, or these cards are the sponsored cards that made possible this card in the more future, present, current energies, okay? So why is the Prince of Staves in the reverse position? Well, it looks like here we have the Devil in the right side up position. So that means here that in the past, in some way, there was some type of imbalance, okay, either with you yourself, Libra, or the person you're dealing with, multiple people, general environment situation. But the Devil card to me is really again, like a nice gentle reminder, right? Or it could be a slap in the face, depending on where you fall, okay? But it's really about, yes, embracing your wild side, okay? Everyone has to do that from time to time, but it has to be not all the time, okay? It has to be in moderation. So when we talk about the Devil, when we talk about things being out of balance, right? We can talk about addictions, right? So addictions to a mindset, addictions to food, drugs, sex, etc., right? But also it can be somebody's a workaholic or whatever it is, okay? But if something just basically is out of balance. The other thing we talk about when we talk about the Devil is that in other decks you would see a man and a woman just like you see here, but they have chains around their neck. And the thing that's really cool to notice is that the chains are around their neck, but the little latch is open, okay? So it can be that in the past there was also some type of self-sabotaging energy here for some, okay? Not everybody, but again, just really something was perhaps out of balance, okay, and needed to be checked. But it looks like here in the past that it was used as a catalyst. This Devil energy was then used as a catalyst to move into that Four of Wands energy, which is really nice, which is about celebrations, celebratory energy, getting vulnerable or comfortable with one person or multiple people, general environment situation, okay? And even unions for some, right? So you could talk about work partnerships, it can be romantic unions, it can be union of self if you're talking about self-love, okay? But the wands were in the right side up position here too. So also that would have been in the past good health. Remember I said it could be health for some here. All right. So I would say generally, the other thing that can be going on here, Libra, is with that Prince of Staves or Prince of Wands in reverse, the energetic blockage of somebody not understanding of communication or hesitancy to level up in some area of life or working on not having enough confidence or something like that. It could be because in the past, if somebody did work really hard to get balance, right? When we're talking about this devil being lack of balance, Libra, you're known as the balance card, right? Or not card, but the balance energy, right? So Venus loves symmetry. Your ruler is Venus, okay? And beauty and all those things. So it could be that in the past here, Libra, if you worked really hard to have this balance within yourself and with others and to be fair and justified, that it led to this beautiful celebration energy. It led to getting more vulnerable and comfortable with somebody or something. And maybe your fear is now, or the other person's fear is that if you do that or if they do that, that it won't lead to more vulnerability, comfortability, and celebrations. Perhaps it'll just, run flat or something like that. Okay, so that could be also something going on here. But let's keep going though, because you still have some really nice cards here and things to think about. Okay, Libra. All right, so moving forward, and we just left the third week, right? We said that could be around September 14th through the 22nd. And now we're going into your fourth card, which could be from around September 23rd to the 28th or so. Again, not exact, but we have the Ace of Cups in the reverse position. So again, this is a little bit of another kind of energetic block or gentle reminder, okay, because you still have that fifth card over here, okay, so I don't think you should ever worry because we always have free will. And this is the energy that I picked up tonight. It could be a little bit more advanced in a day or so, or a couple of days, right? So this is just what we're picking up now, okay? So everything is divine timing, and when you're supposed to receive a message, you receive a message, all right? So anyway, with this Ace of Cups in the reverse position here, Libra, it could be that you are not feeling as resilient as you once did before in the past. But again, kind of going back to what we already talked about, it could be that something is not as emotionally satisfying or making you happy in some way that you thought it would or it did again in the past. It could also be for some that you are not appreciating or applying your innate gifts, okay? Because normally aces talk about gifts from the divine, right? Strengthening the gifts that you naturally have, okay? But also, when we talked about those two princes before, with the Prince of Staves in reverse that we just finished talking about, then followed by the Ace of Cups in reverse, again, is this hesitancy to have an ending, new beginning, which normally aces represent, but also leveling up in some area of your life or multiple areas of your life. So again, it doesn't necessarily have to be about you, Libra. It could be about someone you're dealing with or your environment. But let's kind of dig deeper for just a second before we go to your before we go to your fifth card and your Oracle card. Let's kind of see maybe why this Ace of Cups is shown up in the reverse position, okay? So again, when we talk about what's on the top and the bottom, this is past energy. These are the sponsors that made it possible for your Ace of Cups to show up in the reverse position in the future current energies, all right? So what we have over here, these two past energies, we have the Temperance in the right side up position on the top of your deck, and then on the bottom of your deck was the Ten of Sacred Circles in the right side up position. So it looks like here in the past in some way, Libra, again, we had more balance, but not only balance, right? We had patience with the temperance card here, okay? So she is taking water from one bowl and pouring it into the other. She is the alchemist. She is transmuting energy. She has one foot on land and one foot in the water, right? So again, balance, but she's being patient. And what does the water in tarot represent? If you've seen me before, you know. Okay, it's our emotions. Okay, so she's working through the emotions, the temperance card. And what do we have over here? The Ace of Cups in reverse. Normally, it would be your cup is runneth over with water. The water is flowing out and then going into the ocean. It's all water, right? So it could just be that somebody's emotions here, or you yourself, or both of you guys, or multiple people, whatever, emotions are not being dealt with in some way, or there's just this hesitancy or fear around it. Um, but I feel like it's not necessary, okay? Um, Now, I do remember hearing someone say, because I'm not as an advanced as I would like to be yet in astrology, that for this upcoming Mercury retrograde, a lot of the fixed signs we're going to have like a harder time with the retrograde than normal. So it could be that there's something going on here with that fixed energy, with a water sign perhaps, but it'll be different kind of, for everybody. So going back to this, right, we have that temperance card, beautiful balance, right, and patience. And then over here, you had the 10 of sacred circles, also known as 10 of pentacles, right side up. So this is a completion energy from the past. It is a very supportive energy from the past. We have all these Native American huts that are part of a community together, living together in the forest. We have the full moon in the background, culmination energy. So I really feel like, again, that something's going on here, Libra, where someone is scared of the energy reaching its height. Someone is scared of the full moon being its fullest, right? Just a source of a metaphor, or a metaphor or symbol here, because we're not necessarily, of course, scared of the full moon, right? You shouldn't be. I mean, things are usually more intense during the full moon, but it's nothing usually to be scared of, right? As long as you're safe, knock on wood. I don't know if that's wood, so knock on wood. Okay. But let me turn that down. So yeah, so I feel like, a way to reverse this Ace of Cups in the reverse position here, Libra, would just be to work on the patience that maybe you had before, the other person had before, general environment had before, and to know that you are supported. You do have a community, right? So whether it's friends, family, romantic partner, mental health care worker, all of the above, like pull on those resources if you need to. Excuse me, to figure out, right, again, what these water emotions are about. And also so you can start feeling like, you know what, I do deserve a new beginning. I do deserve fresh start energy. I do deserve whatever it is, happy emotions around getting what I've manifested and worked hard to get. Okay, so anyway, with that being said, let's get to your last tarot card, and then at the very end, your oracle card here, Libra. So this last tarot card here from the other deck, it's going to be confirming. It's a confirmation card, so it's confirming all four of these cards. We just talked about all 4.5 to 5 week time period, whatever exactly it is. Okay, so here we have the Hermit in the right side up position. Again, that Virgo energy we were talking about. All right, but the Hermit is all about going within to use your intuition. It is also about slowing down, whether energetically or socially or both, right? So we can hear our intuition more easily, more accessible, right? Is when there's not a lot of distractions and outside noise, okay? So when you kind of put it together, even with the Temperance, which was past energy, and this is maybe upcoming, future, current, present energies, possibilities, right? It's like, okay, how do I transmute the energy? How do I slow down so I can hear the answers? How do I strive for that balance while I'm being patient for something to manifest? Okay. Now with the Virgo energy here too, right? Since technically for half of this reading from August 28th through September 28th, half of it is Virgo season, the other half is your season if your sun sign Libra, right? So maybe it's about because when we have the Mercury retrograde, we also have like still 4 or 5 other planets in retrograde, that it's not really going to feel, and I forgot to say this in my astrology notes, I can't remember if I did or not, it's not necessarily going to feel like a normal Virgo season because it doesn't feel as earthy as it normally would. So with this Hermit card showing up here for you, Libra, it could just be to try, with all these changes and all these retrogrades going on, to really ground yourself, okay? So what is grounding yourself, right? So of course it's getting back into your body, it's calming yourself, however you may do that, right? So whether it's 5 minutes to do some meditation, 10 minutes, it's taking a walk, it's watching a comedy, it's calling your friend, it's whatever, right? So it's like releasing all the energy of the day of other people and just kind of getting back to you however you do that, okay? Because that will also help you to reverse those 2 reversals that you had. All right. So, all right. So not too bad though here, Libra. I like what I see here for you. So real quickly before we turn it over to Scorpio, your oracle card for this time period and even beyond, right? This is from one of the Rebecca Campbell oracle decks, but it's transformation. It says things are changing at a cellular level and there's deep healing. And here we kind of see, it's so funny, it looks like the Emperor's card, which is your official tarot card, but here we see this woman, Egyptian woman, sitting on a throne, and there's a bunch of cats, and she's got like this halo, right? But this is really beautiful, okay? So there definitely could be a lot of healing going on during this time period for you. And so who doesn't want that? It's not always fun, but it's usually for the best, right? So that's why they say if you have an actual wound like on your skin, right, you're not supposed to pick it. You're supposed to let it heal, even if it's itchy, because then it'll go away faster, right? So let it do its thing and lean into the energy here, Libra, and let those wounds heal. If there's certain wounds that still need to be healed, right? I talked about in the astrology notes, I believe I did, how retrogrades are usually about redos, right? So revision, rework, all the re's. Okay, I can't think of all the words right now, right? So it could be referencing the last time we had a Mercury retrograde, which was in May, or it could be one from last year or even beyond, right? It could be lots of different things. So because we have lots of retrogrades going on, just kind of maybe perhaps, again, lean into it and find, the things that are coming up. Maybe they're coming up for a particular reason. All right. So that is your reading, dear Libra. We're going to go ahead and switch it on over to Scorpio. So I will be posting timestamps after the live for people who just want to do one or the other. So also I will be posting the photo of all the cards. I already took it for Libra, but hopefully I'll remember to take it for Scorpio. So let's go ahead and just switch it over and I'll kind of check out what time it is. We're at 33 minutes or so. All right, so we're not too far off the original schedule I was setting. All right, so I won't turn on the timer until after we've pulled all of the cards, okay? And then we'll also do a sound bell again just to kind of clear the energy and stuff. Okay, sorry. Okay, and their music is gone. Hold on. This is not the right music. It's like, I thought it was on like this new age ambient thing that I normally have it on. But I think that was like jazz or something. I'm not sure. Okay. Anyway, we want to just bring it down. Okay. All right. So yes, let's go ahead and actually let's do the sound bell now, and then I'll shuffle for Scorpio. Okay. So if you're just tuning in, right? It does get a little loud if you're sensitive to that, but it won't be for too long. So if you're listening with headphones and all that, just turn it down for a minute. All right, so we're just going to take a deep breath, or I'm going to. You don't have to necessarily, just kind of let the Libra energy go and kind of let the Scorpio energy come through. All right. I hit my bracelet at the end, so there was like not supposed to be that second bell, but maybe it was supposed to be two bells. So anyway, sometimes I'm better at it than before, but it's all good. Okay, so now let's get into Scorpio here. So I will also, when I do the timestamps later, I usually have the timestamps for people who want to watch the shuffling if I do shuffling on screen, and the people who don't want to watch. So I will be posting that later as well. All right. Okay. Spirits, guide my hands. Messages for water sign Scorpio. Scorpion for August 28th through September 28th. Scorpio. Actually, I'm going to flip that up for a second because it is a little easier when I'm shuffling. Messages for Scorpio. August 28th through September 28th. Messages for Scorpio for the highest vibration, August 28th through September 28th. Scorpio. One more. Messages for water sign Scorpio, the Scorpion, for August 28th through September 28th. Scorpio. And isn't this cute, guys? I don't know if you can see it. It's this zodiac wheel. My friend gave it to me. Shout out, you know who you are. Okay. Bernie. Anyway, okay. Let's keep going here. So we're going to pull 4 cards from here and the top and the bottom. And we don't need the commercial. All right. Spirits guide my hands. Messages. This is so annoying. Okay. Spirit guide my hands. Messages for Scorpio. For August 28th through September 28th, what do they need to see? What do they need to know? Messages for Scorpio. Water sign Scorpio. For August 28th through September 28th, what do they need to see? What do they need to know? Messages for Scorpio. Messages for water sign Scorpio for the highest vibration. For August 28th through September 28th. Messages for Scorpio. Messages for Scorpio. One more card, please, spirits. Messages for Scorpio. What do they need to see? What do they need to know for August 28th through September 28th? All right. I guess they want that one. Okay, so before I take the top and the bottom, let me confirm with Spirit how they want to receive these cards. It looks like we have one reversal, but I just want to make sure. Okay, so that's how they want it. So let me put this back down. And when I said it was annoying, it wasn't that I don't like it. It's just it makes it the cards stick more than I would like them to. Okay, when I'm pulling. Okay, so now we take the top and the bottom. Okay, and then we'll switch over to this deck. And we'll just move this up here for a moment. All right, so this one, we're just going to take one card. Spirits, guide my hands, messages for water sign Scorpio. They're a little harder to shuffle, but it's okay. What do they need to see? What do they need to know? August 28th through September 28th, Scorpio. Spirits, guide my hands, messages for the Scorpion. For August 28th through September 28th. What do we need to see? What do we need to know? All right, let's do maybe one more shuffle like this. Messages for Scorpio. Spirits, guide my hands. Messages for Scorpio. August 28th through September 28th. Okay, spirits, guide my hands. One card only, please, spirits, for Scorpio. Confirmation, one card only. What do they need to see? What do they need to know? That's good. August 28th through September 28th. Scorpio. Wow, okay. Spirits do double in well, that was fast, but before we put this away, we're also going to take the top and the bottom, right? So I don't want to forget. Okay. Running out of room, but that's all right. Let me make it work. Okay, so now we just have one more as the Oracle card. Just move everything over. I'm not sure yet where the tops and the bottoms are going to go, but I will confirm that with Spirit as well in just a moment. Spirits, guide my hands. Oracle messages for Scorpio, August 28th to September 28th. Spirits, guide my hands. Oracle messages, one card, please. Scorpio, August 28th to September 28th. Scorpio. Spirits, guide my hands. Messages for Scorpio, August 28th through September 28th. What do they need to see? What do they need to know? Messages for Scorpio. All right. And the music, where did it go? Super quiet. Just a little bit. Okay. And yes, so let me confirm with Spirit real quickly. If I believe they want both the top and the bottom with this first card, that's what my intuition is saying, but I want to make sure before we start. Okay. So they do want these first top and bottom with this one. Let's double check for this one. No. Okay. Maybe they want them down here. Let me double check. Okay, so they said, yeah, they want these two over here. So before I forget, I'm going to take a picture and then we'll get started. Because I do forget sometimes to do that. And then it's kind of annoying to do it all over. Okay, so 1 second here. And then I swear we're starting. Okay. For the people who are watching the live. Okay. So, all right. Is that good? It's good. Right? Okay. Cool. All right, what time are we at? 44 minutes, basically. Okay. All right, here we go. Scorpio. So for those just tuning in, this is a general reading, right? It can cover love, work, friends, family, health, etc., money, abundance, all that stuff, okay? It can be about you, Scorpio. It can be about another person or multiple people you're dealing with or your general environment situation. And it is also everyone is welcome here, right? So whether you're a sun sign Scorpio, a moon sign Scorpio, a rising sign Scorpio, or even if you don't have your Venus in Scorpio, you have Scorpio somewhere in your chart, as we all do, have the 12 zodiac signs throughout our birth chart. Okay, so excuse me, everyone is welcome. So let's talk about the placements of the cards before we get into it here. So also welcome to all the new people and welcome to everyone coming back as well. I appreciate everyone's energy. All right, so we have about a 4.5 to 5 week time period that we're talking about. Okay, so from August 28th through September 28th. So the first 4 cards are those weeks. Okay, and then we also have another deck. We always use 2 different decks, okay, that we'll confirm with. We'll talk what's on the top of the bottom, and then we'll do the oracle card. All right. So, dear Scorpio, let's see what we have here for you. We have the Princess of Cups in the reverse position as your first card. We have the Four of Swords in the right side up position as your second card. We have the Two of Staves, also known as Two of Wands, in the right side up position as your third card. And we have the Nine of Staves or Nine of Wands in the right side up position as your fourth card. And then we'll talk about the other cards as we go throughout the reading. And when I'm on each one of these 4 cards, I will say the time frame that it may cover. Okay, so it's not exact. So for this first one, we're going to go back a little bit in time because the first one's supposed to be from August 27th through about September 3rd. Okay, and that's today when I'm filming the 3rd. But again, won't be exactly that for everyone, okay? And then the second card will be from around September 4th through September 13th. The third card will be from around September 14th through September 22nd. And then the fourth card will be from around September 23rd through September 28th or so, okay? Before I forget, let's also call out the zodiac signs. As far as the major arcana is here, just real quickly, because some people like to hear that, okay? So yeah, you have Capricorn energy here, Scorpio, you have Aries energy, and you have Gemini energy. So what does that mean? It doesn't necessarily have to mean anything to you, but it could be that you are dealing with a Capricorn, you're dealing with an Aries, you're dealing with a Gemini, or you have one or multiple or all of those really heavily in your chart or the other person's birth chart. Or it could even be referencing a time frame. So the upcoming Capricorn season, or last year Capricorn season, or earlier this year's Aries season, or the Gemini season that we had earlier this year, or the Gemini season coming up, okay? Or it could just be those zodiac frequencies or vibrations, energy that we're talking about. But I like to kind of mention it just briefly in the beginning, okay? So I'll try to call them out again when I'm on that particular card. But the other thing I wanted to mention before we get into it too deeply too, let's go ahead and see what's the majority of your minor arcanas, right? So those are the cups, wands, swords, and the cups, wands, swords, and why did I just forget the other? The cups, the wands, the swords. Oh my gosh, you guys. It's been a long day. What is the other? Pentacles, my God. Well, clearly you don't have any pentacles here, so it's not that, okay? Let me make sure. Yes, the other one is pentacles. You don't have any, wow, you don't have any pentacles here, Scorpio. That's interesting. That also could be another side note, okay? But let's find out which one is the majority for you. So, all right, so we got 3 cups for you. Okay, so 3 cups. We have 2 wands, so it's not wands. We have 1 sword, and the rest are majors. All right, so it's cups. Yes. All right. So what does that mean? So the cups in tarot are our emotions, but also questions like, as an example, what makes me emotionally satisfied and fulfilled and happy? What are my emotional boundaries? What are there? What makes the other person, multiple people, emotionally happy? Okay. So, out of the 3 cups cards you have here, Um, One of them is in the more positive, energetic vibration, and the other two are a little bit of an energetic blockage, but one of them is also in the past, so not too much to worry about. We'll talk about it more in depth when we get there. Um, but yeah, the thing that's interesting, because I got so lost on Pentacles here for you, Scorpio, is sometimes it's not just the majority of the minor arcana that's important. Sometimes it's what's not in the reading, right? And that was like, took me a minute because I'm a little tired today, but it's Pentacles. You have no Pentacles here. So if you were here for the Libra reading, or even if you weren't, Pentacles are about, right, money and wealth, of course, what we want to manifest. But it's about values. How am I being valued? How's the other person, multiple people? Is it in ordinance with what I want, what they want? Okay, so because it's not here at all, it could be one or two different things. Since it's a general reading for multiple people, right? It could be that you're being valued just fine, so is everybody else. It could be that you're not having any money problems right now, right? Since it is could be about money and pentacles. Um, but yeah, it's just interesting. So that is like a side note. I don't want to stay too much there because I could do that all day. So let's get back to what's on the table here. But that was a good, note to make as your to make. Oh my God, it was a good note for your reading as well. All right. So back to your first card here. And so basically last week here, Scorpio, we have the Princess of Cups in the reverse position. Again, I said it's a little bit of an energetic blockage, but it may not even be about you, Scorpio. It could be someone around you that you're dealing with, okay? So when we have this Princess of Cups in the reverse position, it could be Pisces energy here if we wanted to break it down, right? But it's an energy a little bit here, Scorpio, of perhaps someone not being happy about maybe someone's not happy about you wanting to take a less traditional path, or maybe you're not happy about someone else wanting to take a less traditional path in some way here, because normally when we have the Princess of Cups, whether she's reversed or right side up, that is Morgana, okay? So she's the goddess of witchcraft and herbal magic. So here she's picking her herbs at night. So that's non-traditional, right? She works at night, okay? So that's kind of why I said that. But it could also just be that someone is hesitant, or there's an energy or person that's hesitant to want to move forward with something. Because if the Princess of Cups was right side up, she is, right? If she was right side up, open to learning new things. She's not a queen set in her ways yet, okay? But because it's in the reverse position, maybe somebody's scared or hesitant to advance in some area of their life for whatever reason. Okay, so let's kind of see possibly, why that is in just a moment. But other thing to note as well here, Scorpio, with the Princess of Cups is in reverse. It could be that there was a medium-sized offer of communication that was misunderstood by you, the other person or party, or was just completely put on hold and didn't happen, okay, with the Princess of Cups in reverse. Now, because we're talking about last week, some people feel the pre-shadow to the Mercury retrograde. I know I was feeling it like even 2 weeks ago, but I just moved again for the third time this year, and hopefully never, ever again will move. But it could be, because it's in that week that we're talking about. I mean, it's talking about the week before the Mercury retrograde. So when we say communication's not understood or put on hold or not happening, or there's a malfunction, a misunderstanding or something, that could definitely be the case for some. Okay. But let's kind of look at the top and the bottom here too. I'm just turn up the music a little bit. All right. So again, when we're talking about the top and the bottom that we use the other deck for, if this is past energy, whatever that means for you, a couple days ago, months, years, etc. And we're talking about it with your first card, the Princess of Cups in the reverse position. So what we have is the Emperor in the right side up position on the top of your deck. All right. And then we have the Three of Cups, right? Yes, the Three of Cups. I can't see very well. in the right side up position on the bottom of your deck. Okay, so we got Aries energy here, right? And of course, some water sign energy. So all the water signs, right? Could be Cancer, Scorpio, right? That's you, or even Pisces, right? But we did say the Princess of Cups in reverse is Pisces energy too. It's not a major arcana, but I just, thought I'd mention it. I'm not going to do that for every single one. Okay. Um, but yeah, it looks like here that in the past, somebody was very confident. Somebody was sitting in their power, like an emperor, right? Okay. Somebody also had a lot of authority. People looked up to them in some way. They had a lot of support because of the position that they were in. All right. Now, with that being said, too, they also had lots of celebration. So the Three of Cups is a supportive energy, okay, and it is celebrations, right? They're all cheersing. So there was something here in the past, Scorpio, excuse me, that was more emotionally fulfilling and satisfying in some way. You felt more support around you, and perhaps you or another person was, showcasing a lot of Aries Emperor energy here as well. Okay, so when I say somebody in authority, if you're not in authority at work or in a relationship or whatever that means, right? But it's more like, if you're not delegating tasks to others, it's more about being confident and stepping into your power and acting like royalty. Okay. So, it could be here that somebody is hesitant to become a queen, right? The Princess of Cups in reverse, because they're not sure they want the responsibility. They're not sure they're up to the task. Or it could be that they don't feel the support, or the word they're not going to have the same support they used to have if they take on this new role or this new level in some area of their life, or multiple areas of their life, or your life, right? If it's about you directly, Scorpio. Um, the other thing for a small few here, when we talk about the Three of Cups, that can be like a little bit of third party energy, right? So it could be that in the past, in some way, um, if you were dealing with another person, perhaps they were dealing with another person that was influencing them if they weren't directly with them. If we're talking about romantic stuff, right? Or it could be that a family member was in their ear influencing them in some way, or they were addicted to work, or they had other addictions, or there's some kind of third party, third person interfering with the other two. Okay, not for everybody, but just wanted to throw it out there. Okay, but I generally feel like that would be like a small select. Okay, but I had to mention it just because it's there. Okay, and it could be for somebody. All right, but I generally feel like this Emperor card with the Three of Cups here from the past is, telling us why this Princess of Cups is in the reverse in the future. Because somebody's maybe worried again that somebody's not going to respect their newfound authority or their newfound confidence or power in themselves or in the situation. Um, or they're still trying to work something out with their emotions, right? Do I want to be emotionally satisfied and fulfilled in this way? Do I want to embrace something less traditional, or the other person does, or will that be accepted? All those things. Okay, so when we talk about Mercury retrogrades, like I've said before, I don't know if I said it in your section of the reading yet, but it's all about redos. Okay, so revise, revisit, rework, release, right? All those things. So it could be coming back to something going on during the last Mercury retrograde, which is in May of this year, or it could be even further back than that. Okay, but let's keep going forward because I felt like I spent like a way too much time there, but it was all divine. Okay. So now, Scorpio, thank you. We're getting to your second card the week coming up. So right, September 4th, around September 4th through September 13th. It's not exact. We have the Four of Swords in the right side up position here. All right. So this is a little bit of an energetic blockage as well. It's not in the reverse position, but there looks like there's something here still worrying you Scorpio. When we have the swords in tarot, they represent our intellect, our logical mind, right? And so we need that, right? We don't just work with our intuition and our heart chakra, but we also need to be like, does that make sense in the real world, if that's a way to say it? Or is this backed up by facts or whatever it is, right? This is, we're talking about the 3D world and then also the 5D. So you have to like definitely work with both. You can't just do one or the other, okay? But with this Four of Swords here, you see the way it's depicted in this deck is she's bearing the sword. So she doesn't want to deal with this anxiety, worry, overthinking, being too much up in the head energy, okay? And air sign energy, right? So, yeah, maybe because this is technically when the Mercury retrograde starts too. Maybe somebody or some energy, or even you yourself, your Scorpio, just doesn't want or isn't in the right mind frame to deal with it or want to deal with it. But if you bury something, it doesn't make it go away, right? Because then some little kid could come running by and hit their foot on the tip of the sword or the end of the other end of the sword or whatever, right? And so then someone would be like, oh my God, it's lost treasure. And then it's resurfaced, okay? So it's like, better to, of course, deal with those things, keep them in moderation, right? So just like when we talk about the heart chakra and the logical mind, we want a little bit of both. So a little bit of thinking is good. We just don't want it to go too far, like with the Four of Swords. So that's your little kind of gentle reminder there about that. But let's keep going, because I said it's an energetic blockage, but it's not, something to like completely freak out about. We all have them from time to time, okay? So moving forward, we get to your third card here, and we have the Two of Staves, also known as Two of Wands, in the right side up position. And this could be from around September 14th through the 22nd or so, okay? But here we see the back of this Egyptian woman's head, and she's lounging here, and she's looking out at the Nile River, okay? So she's saying, where are those ships going? Okay, where do I want to go? Have those ships gone to where I want to go? Are they going the same pathway that I could go? Right? So it's a people watching energy, because somebody or an energy in general has slowed down. Okay. So out of the first three of your cards here, Scorpio, they're not like go, go, go fast energy, right? You have a little bit of energetic blockage. You want to like not bury stuff that stresses you out and kind of deal with it slowly in time, right? And then here, this isn't like get back to work, go, go, go again either. It's kind of like coming out of it, easing out of it slowly, right? And of course, the water in the tarot, the Nile River that she's looking at, is the emotions, right? So let me use the emotions as a guide and not let them overwhelm me, but also kind of keep them, in a more balanced place here, okay? But this is nice, okay? So I would say it's a nice transition, okay? If that makes sense here for Scorpio. All right. Now, when we get to your fourth card here, we have the Nine of Staves, also known as Nine of Wands, in the right side energy. Right side energy. The Nine of Staves or Nine of Wands in the right side up position is what I meant to say. All right. And so this is almost 10, right? 9 is almost 10, and 10 in tarot's completion number. But here we see this African boy, and he's going through some type of rite of passage, and he's taking a moment to take a rest here, right? Maybe he's learning how to hunt, and he's like really tired from chasing whatever, and he's just taking a moment to kind of catch his breath, right? And so that's kind of what this energy is saying here for you, Scorpio. And when we get to that fourth card, fourth week, what did I say, around September 23rd to the 28th, it could be that you need to take a rest here, okay? But it's also, yes, you need to take a rest because there could be some kind of burnout factor, but it's also like, don't give up, because you're so close, right? 9 is almost 10. You're so close. So don't give up. Just take a little break, take a rest, recharge, all that good stuff, okay? And now when we say that too, because it is, you do have two wands back to back, or two staves is what they're called in this deck. Again, it could be, we're talking about health stuff. So it could be, I feel that it's more for you, Scorpio, it's not your physical body. I mean, it could be for some, but I feel like based on the other cards here, it's more of a mental health thing and your emotional health and your heart chakra. Okay. So if that stuff, has been burning you out, again, just take that rest. Okay. Of course, take a rest for your body too. All those things, however it applies. Okay. But this is so interesting, right? Because, the last thing I'll say about this here, Scorpio, with the nine of staves in right side up position is like you're so close to the 10. You're so close to an ending, yes, which can be bittersweet, but also a new beginning. Okay. And so that's really beautiful. So just, again, take the rest that you need and hold on and don't give up. All right. So, with that being said, let's go ahead to your confirmation card over here. This fifth card is going to be confirming all four cards we kind of just talked about, the 4.5 to 5 week time period. Okay. And so Spirit this time, it doesn't always do this, but this is how it wanted it this time, is it wanted me to talk to you about what's on the top and the bottom of the other deck with your confirmation card. So that does, happen not often, but it does happen. So it's really interesting. So Scorpio, if you were in the Libra reading, or even if you weren't, right? You have the same card as Libra did in this position. Well, no, it wasn't even in this position. Was it? I don't know. It doesn't matter. But anyway, what you have is your confirmation card here is the devil, but instead of it being right side up for Libra, for you it's in reverse. And I think theirs was like down here, so it doesn't even really apply. But anyway, with this devil in the reverse position, that's so good, Scorpio. That's how you want to see that card, because it means maybe perhaps there was an imbalance in the past, but it looks like towards the end of September, right? We're talking about September 23rd through the 28th, or even beyond the beginning of October, right? So more towards your season, because your season, Libra season, sorry, more towards Libra season here, Scorpio. You will be finding more balance. You will be letting go of any self-sabotaging attitudes or beliefs, or the other person will, or multiple people, general environment situation. Okay. So the devil in the reverse position is how you want to see it, right? So again, when you see the devil card traditionally in the tarot, in this one, you do see a man and a woman, right? But they don't have chains on their neck in this one, but it still means the same, just slightly different, right? But in the traditional card, there would be chains on their neck, but the loop is open. So it's always a choice, right, of how wild I'm going to get. It's good to be wild sometimes, right? But we have to have it in moderation. So here with it in reverse position is you, Scorpio, are now having things more in moderation. And maybe because that nine of staves kind of burnout energy that's forcing you or forcing them or everyone or multiple people, general alarm situation, to take a break before giving up, is because it's like, hey, I got to take a break, or it's going to be, really not good, so you can also lead by example, right, Scorpio? So let's kind of go a little bit deeper here just for a moment before we get to your oracle card, about maybe why your confirmation card, the devil, came up in the reverse position here. Because normally, like I said, the top and the bottom don't all the time go with the confirmation card, but sometimes that means, because normally the confirmation card is more future current energies, just like that top row, right? But here it could be bleeding through a little bit. So it's still undecided, which is true of any reading, right? You always have free will, and things are changing from day to day, right? But anyway, yeah, let's get into it. We got the Five of Cups here in the right side up position, which was on the top of your deck here, Scorpio, and on the bottom of your deck was the Fool in the right side up position here. So it looks like in the past, somebody or multiple people energy was focusing too much on the negative, right? So this king is crying over the wine glasses that he spilled. He's like, dude, I don't have any more wine. What am I going to do? Right? Wine, milk, water, whatever, right? And so these other two people are like, wait a minute, like, bro, like, we still have wine we want to share with you. So they're like, we still have opportunities, people, situations that are going to help you and make things a little bit easier for you, or you're going to vibe better with if you just change your perspective. Somebody changed their perspective here in the past. And what did it lead to? The Fool energy. This is the first card in the tarot journey, right? So it's all about making a leap of faith, of not caring what other people think, about letting go of ego and identity, and again, trusting in something they don't are trusting in something we don't see, right? It's not like a given, like you can see things in the physical world, okay? It's more, or feel things in the physical world or whatever, right? But it's more about trusting in the divine, in your spirit guides, your guardian angels, your ancestors, whatever, the universe, whatever you want to call it, okay? So somebody did that hard work in the past, okay? Whether it was you here, Scorpio, or again, someone you're dealing with. But that's why in the future, current possibilities, energies, that devil showed up in the reverse position. So now things are more in moderation because someone did that hard work in the past, okay? So hopefully that makes sense. But I also feel one more thing before we get to your oracle card, that with that Fool card here in the past, because it was with your confirmation card, I also feel like it could go right after the Nine of Staves for you, right? So don't give up. You're almost there, 9, almost 10, because then on the other side is that fresh start energy, okay? Is that letting go of the ego and identity and doing what feels right for you, or the situation, or the other person, or multiple people, okay? So I really like this here for you, Scorpio. So that's what we have for the tarot. But real quickly, before you go, here's your oracle card. So this is one of the Rebecca Campbell decks, okay? And it can be for this time period or even beyond. But we have this beautiful African woman sitting here looking out into this landscape. And this deck is like, it's all kind of really dreamy. I think it's the Starseed Oracle deck, I believe, but I have to double check. Anyway, your message here, Scorpio, is answer the call. And it says, what is your soul calling you to do? All right, so very cool. Always a good thing to check in with, right? So apply that how it may for you. But yeah, I feel like it would go with the Fool, definitely, right? So what is your soul calling you to do? And also not caring about what other people think. The Fool doesn't care, right? That's why they call him the Fool. Because they're like, oh, he doesn't know what he's doing. He's an idiot. He's a dummy. He's a fool, right? But actually, in taking that risk to do something that others may think is stupid, he might actually win out in some way. Okay, so I like it here for you, Scorpio. I hope there was something there for you in this reading. But yeah, thank you guys so much for your time and your energy. And I appreciate everyone. If you want to, you feel guided to, liking the video not only tells me, but it tells you YouTube's algorithms to share it with others. So it's a great free way to share with others. And if you haven't already and you want to subscribe, it is also free. If you have a YouTube email account, it just notifies you when I put out new readings and all that good stuff. So whatever you feel guided with. But yeah, I'm going to take a break here. I'm not sure if I'm coming back with Sagittarius and Capricorn tonight or tomorrow, but it will be coming. So you're always welcome to join me there. But if not, that's okay too. So I'll see you guys later. All right, take care. Bye. Oh, and yes, the picture. I'm going to post your picture. All right, guys. So if you want to figure out how to do that, all you have to do is click in the description box below and follow the instructions there. It's just on my Facebook page. It's super easy. All right. So anyway, all right, guys. See you later. Bye.